Hello, everyone. This is just me, Townsend. I just want to come out with a little bit of a disclaimer. This podcast was recorded on Saturday, the day of Uprising. So everything that's happened between now and then, especially the Twitter drama, I don't want to see if I'm endorsing any of those guys. Because I think I don't know. I recorded it so long ago. I thought maybe I've talked about them in some way positive. A lot of what they've done I think is wrong and whatnot, but I'm not going to get into it here. But please enjoy the podcast. I'm now moved on to this own channel because I don't want to be controlled by certain things. So generally, just thank you for the support, and I hope you enjoy this podcast with Preppy. I did, and yeah, happy days. I'll see you around, boys. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second ever installment of Warchief Radio, the podcast that hopefully you enjoyed listening to. Now, my second ever guest here is Preppy. So, Preppy, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We're on the day of Uprising. It's Saturday when we're recording this, so we got a lot to look forward to in the community. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, I suggest you go watch Uprising. It's a COH show, so likelihood is it's going to be good.
It is. Give it a watch, guys.
So, Preppy, we know you from feds such as HXW. We know you from feds such as Honorman. We know you from feds such as CAC. I also believe TCW.
Yes.
So how many more feds are you in at the moment?
Well, right now I'm in HXW, Honorbound, CAC, TCW, XWW, and pretty much underground. So that's 6 feds.
6 feds. Do you find that work taking its toll? Like there's a lot of things going on.
Sometimes I do. I do sometimes. It can pretty much build up like, hey, we need you to do this, hey, we need you to do that. Like everything piles up at once. You're like, damn. Sometimes I may need a break. Like, I just need to back up a little bit. Like it takes a toll sometimes. It does.
I think everyone who's listening who has been in that many feds knows it also takes its toll. I mean, I used to be in however many, and I've cut down now to 2. I think 2 that I'm active in, HXW and Honorbound, with CAC just doing general manager things. So
yeah.
Other than that, I think other than Courtney, which is the sidecar I've got at the moment, and with her, I'm not putting as I'm not doing radios. I'm not doing massive. I'm not going out and promoting and doing all this. It's just text type thing. So the work's a lot less for Courtney, but I think the work I'm doing at the moment is manageable, and I hope at the moment you're feeling your work is manageable to appear and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So now, we need to talk about something. Preppy, you're often called the No Cell King. How did you get that nickname?
Well, honestly, I got it a long time ago. Like it's like during high school, like real life stuff. Like normally, because a lot of people normally pick on my friends, or sometimes they pick on me, and I just literally just don't really care. I'm like, okay, your point. Like I just pretty much don't care what people think, or I just no sell everything. That's how the no sell king came up, and plus I no sell moves a lot of no sell death too. So that's mainly what the no sell king came from.
So when was the
Just
first
me.
time you were called the No Cell King? Was that an out of character thing or was that a in character thing?
It was out of character thing. It's because it's because someone. It's a quick story. Like someone got into a huge argument with me. Like someone was arguing back and forth with me, and I was just listening to music, not paying attention to them. And this dude was screaming, hollering, saying, "Oh, you are worthless!" And he was just calling me like racist names and calling me the N word. I'm like, then I pretty much took off my headphones. I'm like, "Are you were you saying something?" Because I really wasn't paying attention. Because basically, I was literally not paying attention what this dude was saying. And then my friend Max like, "Oh, bro, you was not paying attention to that dude. Like you was no selling the shit out of that dude." I'm like, I pretty much said I don't have time for ignorance. So basically, I was just ignoring everything the man had to say about me, and I just kept it moving. That's how the No Sell King was born. That's how the nickname was brought to me, the no, like King of No Cell.
So how did you debut that into core? Did it just like come through conversations and you're just like, well, yeah, I'm the no cell king in real life, so I'm gonna be the no cell king here.
It was mainly because it was a little bit of both. Because I know, because people try to promo me and disrespect me, I just normally don't pay attention. I'm like, all right, cool. And I just kept it moving, or I just started laughing. I'm like, all right, that's the best you got. And it was because each time someone hit me with their finishing move or hit me with their best move, I normally kick out at one or barely at two. And I just get up like, all right, that was nothing. What's next? I always keep popping up out of nowhere, like, and be like, all right, I'm cool. Keep going. That's pretty much how the no cell king was born in Call.
Well, that's capitalization on the whole. In EFED, especially, you got to capitalize on what the game gives you. In a lot of cases, like good storylines are normally born out of just a chance thing that can happen between two people in a match because the AI does it. So I think that's a good idea of capitalizing on said thing and owning it. I mean, you've owned it. You're like, if there was a tweet not too long, I think Iris put it out about who's the biggest
Yeah.
no seller, and then there was some quite like notable names, and you won by what 50%?
Oh, by a lot.
Yeah, over half the people, or around. I don't know the official one, but I know like around half, or if not more than half, of everyone who voted on that believed that you no sell a lot better than. I don't know who the other options were. It was who else?
I think it was because okay, my friend El Penguin Paul and was also for subtweet as well. Like who was the king or queen of the subtweet who was undisputed. So
Mm.
basically, it was me, Blaze, and Iris.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. So
so
you
all
beat.
of us, okay.
So you beat them.
So like, yeah. So all of us was in the poll, and basically, I won literally by a landslide. I'm like, well, damn,
Well, I
like
think you're known
damn.
by the community now to be a subtweeter and no seller. What are your views on the subtweet? Because there's a lot of people who don't really enjoy it. Some people think it's just a way of saying your mind and not of and avoiding conflict. Personally, where I sit on the whole subtweeting thing, I mean, uh, social media and it's liberating to put out what your feelings are. It is liberating. That's the whole design of social media. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I feel I've subtweeted just because there's times where you're annoyed by an action. Sometimes it's a general statement. Sometimes it is this person's done something that's really annoyed me, and I'm not going to call them out on it because it's like my point is if it's for me to subtweet, it'd have to be a general action. You know, like something that can apply to more than one person. I don't necessarily think and someone and just being there like you're this, you're that. Necessarily fix anything. It's core at the end of the day. It's a hobby. I don't like the fact that there's people that take this shit so seriously and they try and push people out and alienate people. Um, but I feel subtweeting, it is what it is. There's cases where subtweets are fucking stupid,
Mm-hmm.
like where two people are too petty to talk to each other, and then they just subtweet it out. But then there's cases where someone's generally feeling something about the situation, and hopefully that tweet may like the hope is that the tweet may that someone may look at that tweet and then alter their behavior from it. You know, like if I made a tweet about clicks, and I think that's the most recent tweet of mine to blow up a bit. There was a lot of people talking about it, and
Mm-hmm.
then I feel that wasn't directed at anyone, but I hope someone who is in a clique now goes, I agree. Maybe I shouldn't say yes all the time to what my guys are saying. Maybe I shouldn't alienate one person because the rest of them don't like it. You know, like
Yeah.
I just want people to free think and people to be like I want people to know everything before they make an action. There's too many times in the community where like even just like the whole like idea or something like so I like someone can go and say oh Townsend is a bit of a nerd. He doesn't like Bianca Belair. And then everyone's like, oh, he doesn't like Bianca Belair, but then they're all stands for Bianca Belair, so they're like, oh, fuck this dude, you know? I don't know why
Yeah.
that's the example that came to my mind, but I want people to think more to themselves. Thinking, did that guy actually say that, or did he say, or is this just like some shit just being thrown at him? You know, like I think there's too much like I don't know if it's cancel culture or just a mob mentality where like
To be honest with you, it's a little bit of both. Because okay, this is how I subtweet. I know we don't like subtweeting. That's the crazy part. I don't like subtweeting things, but If something gets on my nerves, or if I catch you doing it, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll put this tweet out and be like, yo, stop. And normally, when I subtweet people, they would message be like, yo, are you talking to me? Like, bro, like, yo, are you saying this about me? Like, yo, I'm sorry, like, my bad. Like, I don't like subtweeting people, but if
Well,
you're being stupid or you just get on my nerves, I'll probably say something like, yo, chill out.
I feel
Or I would,
I feel if you're in a big role, and
mm-hmm,
you got a lot of notoriety and people not notoriety is negative, but you got a lot of popularity and people know who you are, and then if you tweet it and people are worried that it's about them, I feel the shoe fit scenario. If it's not even directed to them, but they feel it's about them, then they should alter their behavior and not be like. I think there's too much cases that they'll get called out on something and then I'll just be like, oh, okay, I've been called out once, but I'm still going to continue doing it. There's cases where I feel like you
yeah,
should just like
like, with me, like, I don't like me. I pretty much would DM you personally and be like, yo, you should stop what you're doing now because this is not going to end well for neither of us involved. I will at least DM personally. I will never put their business out there because that's not me. I'll at least DM somebody like, yo, you need to chill, or yo, you need to stop. Because me subtweeting is pretty much, I'm in a gray area, meaning I don't take anybody's sides. I will listen and I'll give you my opinion, be like, yo, maybe that wasn't the best idea to do it. You can went a different route. But I don't like conflict because one, I don't have time for it, and two, it's just pointless because if you pretty much put your business out on Twitter and be like, oh, he did this or she did this, and people are choosing sides, I'm already looking at y'all like, there's no fucking point. Y'all could just DM each other and be like, yo, like, what are we doing? That's why I hate conflict like it is. Especially if I'm in it, because here's the deal. 75% of my followers are not car related. They know me and they know how evil I can really get. And most of my followers are way worse than me. So basically, if I'm ever pushed to that point that you're being petty to no return or disrespecting me, I won't even have to say a word. I'll just add your name and be like, all right, followers, do what you do. Roast them. I don't give a fuck.
how is that
And
sharing a in real life Twitter with a core Twitter?
both. It's mainly both because I don't like drama, period. Like, yes, we're gonna have our dispute, we're gonna argue a lot, but I don't like it because if you pretty much push me to a point of no return, I'll be like, all right, go get them, guys. I'm
Well,
done with it.
how is it sharing it? So like you be tweeting about core, what do your in real life followers think? They're just feeling like I know there's a lot of people in the community who have this have core as like their backdrop and what they do, but they're too scared to show it out to everyone. Like I wouldn't dream about showing around my personal friends my core. I would not dream of it.
Um, because one, they know, like most of my followers know I do call sometimes. They know I do call. So pretty much with me, they don't take it as, oh, that dude's weird because he does calls. He plays wrestling video games. No, some of my friends like it. They're like, oh shit, that's cool. Do you, bro? Like, I have friends that support me that doing that. So basically, it's really never. It really is never like. How can I put this the best way? Like, they're not judgmental about it because they know me, like personally know me.
Well,
So I was like, hey, oh, go ahead.
it doesn't affect their judgment on you. It doesn't affect what they do.
Oh,
I
no,
think. Oh well,
not at all.
that's it's just something interesting for me. I wouldn't dream of putting my Twitter together. I wouldn't dream of it. I feel it's such a weird concept to people just to explain from start. There's just no point. For me at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the whole subtweeting thing.
Hmm.
So your subtweets, are they about real life people as well as core? Or is it majority core?
Uh, Sometimes it's real life people is majority call, like everything call, like majority of it, because with call is just it gets very toxic, very bad. Like
Well,
some
yeah.
people. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. Core, I think core is like a big is yes, there is real life situations that are quite annoying. Like you can have a friend who's a fucking toxic prick, right?
Yeah.
But you can in core, I feel it's a lot more. hyped up because people put so much time into it. You know, like there's people I think honestly do not get enough time outside, and I don't like them. Mainly it's reactionary. Like if they don't like me, I don't like them. That's
Yeah.
my way of life. Like I'll be civil with you if I don't know you. I'll be civil with you if we're just starting to talk to each other and whatnot. But if you outright hate me, I'm not gonna try and fix a thing that won't be fixed. You know, like they've come to the judgment that I'm a toxic person. They know who they are. They've come to the judgment where they feel I'm a twat.
Hmm.
I'll own it. I mean, I know I've shut down some of the people I know that don't like me. Like I'll shut them down. I'll just be like, don't talk to me. You know, like there'll be a situation we're all talking. We're all in like a little group chat. We're all chatting about I don't know bloody what's next. What's the WrestleMania card? And I'm just there like I think this guy's high, I think this guy's gonna be on it. And then you're getting like he's not even supposed to wrestle. He's injured. And it's like, bro, shut up. It's an idea. Just move on from it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a lot of people. There's a lot of pettiness in court. I think that's the right answer. I feel there's people
Yeah.
that there's definitely people that make it their life goal. If they don't like you, they will make it their life goal to prove you wrong in some aspect because it feels that I don't know if it's an intellectual complex where they feel that they have to be smarter than said person and proving them wrong anyway safe anyway makes them feel strong about themselves. But to me, I've got a stable life outside of core, and I'm happy with it. And I feel gaining confidence in core because like when I first came, I was scared shitless. Like you look at Tone White, I was scared to talk to him, you know. But now
Hmm.
I'm gaining confidence of it, and then this comes then with the whole going exclusive to feds and all this, where I feel if it's not worth my time, I will say no, and if I'm not respected, I will get annoyed. You know what I mean? I feel like I've got to
Yeah.
that stage, and I think that's healthy because I remember being so stressed about little things in call, like, oh my god, that person doesn't like me. But now I'm at this stage of confidence where I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. Like, I'm not scared of him. Like, and it comes with knowing more. You know, like I was so scared this one person was going to get me blacklisted. I was so scared he was going to work his little magic and get me on. He cancelled the match. He cancelled the match with me. We were building up to it in honor bound, and he said, "Oh, I don't really feel like doing it. I wouldn't enjoy it." And I was like, "This guy's going to try and get me blacklisted." I think he still is. But
Well,
I'm at this stage now where I don't fucking care. I've heard people what people have to say about that person, and I'm just there like, well, I'm not scared in the slightest that they come for me because there's a lot of people who know what he's like. You know what I mean?
hmm.
But that being said, like it's just how it is. I mean, you get drama in court. It's everyone's so passionate about you. Of course, you're gonna get a lot of conflicting personalities. You get a lot of drama. So Preppy, you came on the show wanting to talk about your dramas. You were telling me just
Yes.
before you want to talk about some of the stuff and you want to get past it by addressing it. So
Yes.
take the floor is yours. You want
Well, base.
which one do
I
you want
think
to
we're gonna
start
talk.
with?
I think we're gonna talk about my past, like way past, like when I first joined Call.
Well then shoot, I'm here to listen, man.
All right. So basically, this is surprising. Like I'm 24 out of character. I started Call when I was probably 13.
So
Like,
you've been doing this for like 11 years?
yeah.
Holy moly. I didn't
So
know.
yeah, I've been.
If someone asked me how long have you been doing this, I would not say 11 years.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. That's why I know the ins and outs, and I probably just I stay away from a lot of drama because I learned from that. I've been through that, and this is part of the story with me and Nighthawks because all of us. It was me, Nighthawk. It was me, my friend Crazy, my friend Dingo, who's in TCW with me now. Uh, and pretty much we all had a group called Terror Squad.
Mm.
Basically, and plus with Ethan Gates, who's pretty much who all y'all know as Carlos Corvo.
Isn't he? Hasn't Ethan Gates' core changed to Aldebert Caldwell or something? I don't know if
Yeah,
I butchered the name, but yeah,
yeah, that's him. That's him. That's one
yeah.
of the homies.
Uh,
But pretty much with us in our group, we was winning every match. Like we was winning every match, winning every title, and it was getting frustrated.
hmm.
It was getting kind of frustrating for him because we was keep winning and winning. Then the moment that our friend Pitbull, he was streaming during his time, I think jealousy came about between them two. And he's like, "Oh, you gotta pick a side. You gotta pick a side." I'm like, "I'm not picking nobody's side. Like, I'm staying here. I'm in the middle." And then when I left, then pretty much I had a match, and I couldn't be there. And my friends couldn't be there because I was out of town enjoying time with my family. I
Mm.
was in Atlanta and I was having fun because of my grandfather's birthday, so I was having fun with them. Surprised that I didn't drink nothing because I was too young, so don't so that hurt a little bit. But basically, to find out that my match was kind of eh, I'm not gonna say it, but it was kind of Then my to find out my friend got taken out of his match because he wasn't here because he had other shit to do. That sparked a huge ass argument between all of us, and pretty much it just started from pettiness, and then it got personal. Like, look, like if you're not gonna respect us, then we're gonna leave.
Mm.
And basically, we went back and forth. I went back and forth with Taz. Literally, I'm like, okay, this is bullshit. I'm gone. Like, if you're not gonna respect me, this bridge is burned. Fuck all that other bullshit. And I said it in Russian, like, this bridge is burned. I'm done with it. Like, if we're not gonna do this, then at this point, it's over. Like, you can keep the money of the subscription, do whatever. I don't care.
So are you very not?
And
Are you very like no second chances, or are you one to give out second chances, or if they respect you once, it's done. Like someone respects you, disrespects you once, you're like, well, nah, I'm not gonna do it anymore.
basically, I'm okay. First time I didn't give second chances. It's like you fuck me over, you're done. Period. I want nothing to do with you. I don't want to associate with you. It's over. And basically, and this is time like I was like, and this is time like I was finna go to college, and I was literally burned out of call. Like I was literally burned out because I was doing call and I was doing school, other stuff, after school stuff. I was literally getting burned out completely, and that's why I took a hiatus from call because that huge argument I had with him. I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth it for me no more. Like, I'm done. I don't even want to do this. Keep the money, do whatever. I quit, and I quit. On. Like I was literally, I quit Empire and said, look, I'm done with call. Don't even mess with me about this bullshit.
Mm. Oh, say again?
You all right?
Yeah, I didn't know if I DC'd or some shit. I was like, oh shit.
No, you good. You
All right,
good.
that's
You
good. That's
good,
good.
bro. You,
So it was so you're put in between two friends.
basically,
And they
yes.
were at, and one of them then disrespected you, and you're like, okay, that's done.
Yeah, because I'm cool with both people, but the one thing I would never tolerate, still to this day, I would never tolerate is disrespect. The moment you disrespect me and do that to me,
Mm.
I'm done with it. Now, did I be petty to him? Yeah, I had a lot of petty moments, but then again, you're forgetting I'm a teen. I was still a teenager. I was not even in my 20s. I was like literally like 17 or 18 when I
Yeah.
was doing this shit. So
I'd be lying if I said I was never petty. You know, like I think,
yeah.
I think in the whole scheme of things, there is a lot of them versus me mentalities in core. I mean, it happens a lot, right? It happens a lot where it's like because you're side of this, but like it's the times the clicks thing and the whole them versus me attitude. I remember
Mm-hmm.
recently there was some drama and then people run for it. And there was like people who liked the guy, people who disliked the guy, and it was like neck and neck. And there was people tweeting, I don't care. Like there was people tweeting, I'm so disappointed in all of you for doing what they
I
done.
know.
And
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
I don't want to name names because it's fresh and I don't
I
want to
know,
cause drama
I
from
know,
it.
and
But
I know, and I pretty much address both of them. Like, look, you can hate each other. That's fine. Keep it mutual
oh yeah,
because
I'm friend. I like to think I hope so, but I hope I'm friends on both sides with both people. But I felt like the them
yeah.
versus me attitude was in high effect that day. Or like there was people there like I was profoundly disappointed in what people were saying. And that was more so because I heard so there was someone who I heard positive things about coming. Like so, the guy said, "Oh, this guy's great. I love him." He worked so hard on this work, and he really helped me with my this project, right? And
Yeah.
then for the guy who he's talking about, then calls him a fucking cunt behind his back. That's where I lost a lot of respect for some people, right? I was like, he's singing your praise, but behind your back, you're behind his back, you're going, oh yeah, he's a fucking cunt. That was my biggest quarrel with it, and that's why I lost a lot. That was why I was disappointed with a lot of people. Right, that was probably the highlight of it. Why I was so annoyed by it. But then you see people
Yeah.
who were annoyed that there was even a conversation about it. Like it wasn't the right place to have a conversation. Person A couldn't defend themselves at all, so it wasn't like people were like just shouldn't have brought it up. And then the other side of the coin there was this guy has just started something. He's on the timeline. He made it. He's made it a big thing, and people were just there like, "Oh shit, here we go." Then you like, I don't. And then there was I don't care if you're disappointed. They're my family. We're happy days, and it's a lot like that, right? And
I know.
and in for me, that sort of thing is negative because I feel if we all ditched that mentality and it was everyone listens to each other and was like, okay, it's a quarrel between two people. You don't need the rest of them. You don't need to voice your opinion on it. Like the guy said his point, then it was like a flock of birds trying to add to it. You know, guy B came on just after the whatever the show it was and was like, right, and he was like, oh, just a pointer, and he made his point, and to be fair, he tried shutting down the shouting. As soon as it started, he was like trying to shut it down. And when someone else was like, "Oh, can we go talk about it? Can we go talk about it?" He was like, "No, I don't want to talk about it." So he was very mature.
Yeah.
I love him for it. But then, as everyone's like crows and they want drama and they're hovering around and they're like, "Okay, he's just opened the floodgate. Let's add to this flood. Let's make this a thing." It shouldn't have been that at all. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it was,
And
and
go ahead.
so no,
Sorry.
sorry, I was finishing. I was just saying, but it was that what it turned into. Um,
And with that part, and this is what I always say: this I understand his point of view. When we say, "Look, I don't want to talk about it," people that act like, "No, we should talk about it." With me, is when I say I don't want to talk about it, I literally say, "Look, I don't want to talk about it." If it involved me and somebody else, that's between me and somebody else. I don't need anybody getting involved with it because once everybody gets involved, that is bad on everybody.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah. It's honestly like you see conflict, right? And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off again.
you're good,
I'm terribly
you're good,
bad at
bro.
that. But for
You're good,
me,
you're good. Don't worry about it.
for what I see is every conflict is sorted out by sitting down and talking, and every conflict is caused by the absence of sitting down and talking. The two guys that have had the quarrel, I do not see them sitting down and talking because here's the thing: it's too far gone, right? It's too far gone, and I think as someone we respect it. It's a case. Okay, they're never gonna get on. I hope people know who I dislike and like they're never gonna get on, and then they won't try to make me be civil to that person because
Mm-hmm.
that person I'm thinking of in my head that you may all think is different. Like you may think it's this guy, but that person to me, I do not think would ever sit down and try and have a conversation with me about the situation, about fixing and reconciliating. Right? I don't want to have to be in that situation. I'm. It's got to a stage now where core is not as big as a role in my life as it was, and to me, if someone does dislikes me from core, it's their quarrel, it's their beef. I don't care anymore, you know. And I think that's the same thing with you, Preppy. Like, so someone doesn't like you in core, fuck them, you know. Like they disrespect you, fuck them. I don't care. Moving on, you know.
Pretty, pretty much because I pretty much learned this from Jackson and Blaze since I got into TCW. Like, not a lot of people gonna like you. A lot of people will like you. Some people will envy you. I don't. For me, I don't take anything personal. If you dislike me, cool. If you want to disrespect me, cool. But don't disrespect the people that are close. That's really it. Because you can say whatever you want about me, and I'm gonna know so and not gonna care for the world. Because I'm old enough to know that if you don't fuck with me, you don't fuck with me. It's cool. Not everybody's gonna like me. But
Mhm.
don't take it personal. Don't take it to that level that okay, you say something personal, now I have to respond. Because at the end of all of this, if we ever have a problem, You can hate me, you can hate my guts, whatever. I'm not gonna bash you. I'll at least message you, be like, okay, what's the problem? We don't have to we don't have to be friends. We don't have to do anything. But I at least want to give you the chance to sit down and talk and be like, yo, what's really the deal with it? Like, if you hate me, what's your reason for hating me? And if you give me a reason, cool. I can live with that. I'm fine with that. But
Yeah,
just don't.
yeah. Reasoning is the most important thing. Sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off, but I want to emphasize reasoning is the most important thing. If you tell me not to do something or tell me do this or do that, and you don't give me a valid reason, I'm not going to do it. You know, like
it,
because if you can't give me a valid reason for doing something, and you can't tell me for example, if I go to someone like, hey, listen, uh, I was thinking for I don't know. Let's use a CAC example. If I went to EPS and he hasn't done this, I'm not saying that at all. But and he goes to me, he's like, "You're Townsend, right? I want you to
mm-hmm,
shave your beard." And I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "I don't know. Just do it." I won't do it because there is no fucking reason. You know, like
exactly.
the reason is he wants me to do it. If he just he announces, "Oh, that's the reason I want to do it," then I can perceive to myself whether that's a valid reason or not. But there is no valid reason for shaving Townsend's beard. You know, like, and then I won't do it. And I don't think anyone should be for like if you are told to do something by someone, you need to find out the reasoning and the intent behind it because in court it's like a game of chess, right? If they are
Yes.
asking, and a lot of people, unless you're in their clique and unless you're a known friend of them and all this shit, and you're like, unless you trust them dearly, they are doing it for some reason. They are doing it to get something, and that's just life. That's life. I think you can. There's a lot of that you can learn from court. Like that's life. People will do that. So that's just my advice. Like if someone asks you to do something, you find out the reasoning. Like otherwise, you're gonna be doing stuff for them like willy nilly. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Um. But yeah,
Like,
carry on.
I
Sorry.
I agree with that because I want a valid reason. Like, I don't want you to go with everybody's like, oh, because everybody else hates you. I'm like, so you're following what everybody else thinks. What do you think? Because like, for me, I don't care what everybody else thinks. I want to know what you think. Like, what's your reason? I don't want to hear everybody's reasons because if you give me everybody's answer, like, well, because everybody hates you, then I'm just going to ignore you. Like, I'm going to be like, okay, you're wasting my time. There's no point because it is a game of chess, but I need a reason. If you don't give me a valid reason, then I'm gonna get you like, then you're wasting my time. We're done here.
Mm.
And it's the same argument I have with I can say someone's name, right?
Yeah, go for it.
With Jaden Shadows,
Mm.
unfortunately, because I think he got in a huge argument with me talking about, and was in character. I think this was called stuff which I really was not in the mood for it. I was like literally tired,
Yeah.
and I pretty much ended him like this. So you're just gonna be like everybody else. You're gonna list your talent range, you're gonna list your accomplishments, blah blah blah. That's why I'm not here. I'm not here for that. I can
Mm.
give two fucks about your world talent range. I don't care about your accomplishment because you're just being like everybody else who pretty much argues with me. Oh, I've been this world champion. I made it then this and that. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Be different. Like, separate yourself from everybody. How you think I made it this long?
Well, I mean, you have done it with being the no sell king. I mean,
It,
you got that is another good point. You got to differentiate yourself from the competition, and I feel a lot of people need to learn that. Uh, a lot of people need to learn that
yes.
sooner rather than later. With CAC, and you're working with new guys and guys that haven't been in the community as long as like I've been here. I'm not gonna act like a high horse. I've been here like around 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been here around 2 years. So I'm not gonna act like on my high horse, being like I know better than someone else. I don't. But I'm like,
Oh no.
I feel the lessons I learned 2 years in, I want to try and get people to learn 3 months in. You know, like I want to try and be that like help for some people. Like at the moment, I'm loving APH. APH is brilliant. Honestly,
Yes.
I'm not. This is not me like not a paid endorsement or anything like that. I genuinely think APH is the future of core. I think he works hard. He doesn't do anything stupid, and he doesn't get himself into trouble. He'll be in COH main eventing in no time. I think he's genuinely that good.
Bro, you got APH. Guess who I have?
Who do
Who's
you
going to
have?
be the future? He's in TCW. His nickname is the future. It's TJ Thorne. I think he's gonna be the future of COD
Isn't
because
isn't his Twitch handle Seagorilla?
yes.
Yeah, honestly, when I first started in core, and by the way, this is when I was a fucking cunt, right? I was a newbie. I had no idea what to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel he was probably the only one who was willing to give me a chance because I was doing it all wrong. I wish, like I said this in the previous podcast, I needed a tone white there and there to tell me this is wrong, do this, do that, this is right, this is right, just to mentor me to be like, okay, you don't need to talk in the locker room all the time about your storyline or trying to get yourself over in the locker room. Do it on the timeline every now and again. Don't focus on it. You can't make the hard mics, or you can't make the. Is it ground zero? I think was TCW.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
ground
ground.
zero.
You
Ground
can't
zero.
make the
Ground
ground
zero.
zero. Record, right? And as someone new to the community, and when it was like, I don't know if you were in the chat for TCW back then. It was like around 2 years ago now. But
If it was 2 years ago, I probably was, but I was not paying attention.
I don't think anyone was. But I pissed off a fucking lot of people, and I see it now. Like if you come in like that cocky attitude and you're being a little prick, you're gonna get ignored, right? And
Literally, yes.
I wish I had that background knowledge before I went straight in. And like if TCW people are listening, I know I ended my shit with Blaze pretty badly, but I like to hope that like. What I did was fucking pay. What I did was fucking wrong, and I just want them to know I'm a better person now, per se. And
Mm-hmm.
that experience, I think is one of the biggest things that told me, okay, that was wrong. Don't do this. You know, like, and that's probably why I've not gone to. I think that's the only bit of trouble I've been in core. I think that's the only like where I've been in like shit. You know, and it wasn't even that big of shit. It was a simple, you're out of this company, and I'm like, okay, and that was it.
I
Okay, I
feel
didn't.
you. I feel that, and like with mentors, my mentor, he's also in TCW. Frank Gage, Frankie.
Didn't he?
He's
Yeah,
pretty much
he did like tutor things.
yes,
Yeah, I remember him.
because with him, he pretty much taught me when I came back. It was him and it was Lazy. What Drake Storm, Lazy.
Yeah,
Basically, they pretty much taught me like the rights and wrongs of call and sim and everything. They's like, look, if you're gonna be this character, you gotta learn when to do it and when not to do it. Because it's cool to be in character sometimes, but don't be in character all the time.
exactly.
Because
I firmly agree. The I think doing something wrong and then learning from it is valuable. I think I only wish I didn't end it on such a bad note. Like the reason, like when I look back at it, I always cringe at myself because I know I was out of my mind when I did it. I know for a fact I was totally wrong in doing it. Because like I can't remember the entire thing, but I'm pretty sure he came to me about a concern that I was gonna like poach talent or something for like because I just started instance with Bill Dern, and I'm pretty sure I was just there like, bro, what? And there was stuff going into it. Like I felt like at the time I was like, they tell me to be active, I be active, I get yelled at, you know. So it was like I felt there was no way to win. I was like, oh, there's no way to win. What the fuck am I doing here? Blah, blah, blah. And I was getting a bit heated and I was getting annoyed because there was people in that chat that, and I will say this, TJ Fawn, he was the guy who was like, Angle, let's give him a chance, you know.
mhm.
Because like there was times where they would all shout at me for something, and then he would say what I was saying. He was like, "You tell him to be active, he be's active. You shout at him for it," and and I respect him a lot for that. But no, I had to go because I ended it sourly and went on to do went on to redacted Fed and then uh
Let's not talk about
oh
that.
yeah, God no, we're not talking about that. But moved on to redacted Fed, and I think the rest is history. I think people will understand where I came from there. But yeah, I
Hmm.
feel honestly what I needed at the time, I needed to get into a Fed and then have like a tone or someone just tell me their ins and outs, just be like, right, don't need a pro over this, don't need a pro over that. But what I like, I think Bill touched on it last episode of the podcast, and he said people Feds expect a certain amount of common sense before you join, and I think they expected me to have common sense, which I didn't, and I think it's my bad completely. So yeah,
I
moving on.
I think that's just with all that. I think it's just a learning experience
Oh, definitely,
because
definitely. I think yeah,
it's with like with me, it's the same thing I'm having in Honor Bound right now because I think, and I'm comfortable talking about this. I'm not going to get in trouble saying this. So, woohoo. So basically, it's the same thing with me and Honor Bound right now because
So what
I'm
is the
now.
situation with you and Honor Bound? Let's just go over the situation there then.
Well, I've been very busy lately with life. Now I have kids. Well, technically they're not my kids, but yeah. But I'm taking care of them. I work, so basically, and I've just been very busy. Knowing my first problem is not calming a hard mic, in which that was punishing me because that was killing me. Not calming a hard mic. I'm like, okay, Brooks, you do the hard mic stuff. I'll just still be here because I'm still busy and working on the stuff. And then when we separated, then pretty much I'm like, wow, I didn't even notice that low key kind of hurt. Like y'all could have told me that. So basically after that happened, they say, hey, you can try to feud with Corvo, and I was so mad to the point. I'm like, no, I don't even want to do feuds right now. So I got squashed. So I got in a squash match. I'm like, smooth bet, don't even speak to me right now. And right now with me, it's like I've been very busy out of character stuff because of me working, me taking care of kids, and it's just a lot of stuff that's happening. Like, will I return to Underbound? Yes, I will come back
Well, I
soon.
definitely look forward to you returning to Honor Bound because there's a lot you can pick up on, right? Like, I generally think
Yeah,
you and well, I know you and Jordan have faced each other quite a lot, but there is a story there you can work on if you want to go to
yeah.
it, or if you want to work towards something else. There is the
I
option to do so.
I think right now I'm going to stay away from Brooks right now because this is only he just won a singles title.
Oh yeah,
So
exactly,
I'm like,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah. So I'm thinking, you know what? No, I'm not going to go after Brooks right now. I decided, you know what? I'm actually going to cut weight and go for a cruiserweight title because I never. And this is strangely to say, I never held the cruiserweight title in my career. Never.
well, I look forward to you being in the cruiserweight division. I'll say this. I'll say this about the whole hard mic thing. Now, I will say this: it's not the end all be all if you miss hard mic. But let's say you're on a road for your career, and you want to get to. Let's say you want to get to the main event, and let's say it's a road from A to B, right? A starting out, B being there. Hard mic with hard mics, and you're doing hard mics. You're getting it's like a car, right? You're driving a car for it. Without the
Yeah.
hard mics, it's like a pedal bike, and without doing anything, it's a walk. And I think for people who are like, well, I can't get hard mics and all that, you'll pedal for a bit, but hopefully you can get there in the end. But what is required for storylines and all this is the hard mic. Uh, do I think that's wrong? No, I think if you look at CAC, we require people to voice promo because I understand there's a case of that's alienating some people who just can't promo and they can't voice promo and they don't like it. They feel uncomfortable. But core is about growing yourself as a person more than anything and giving you confidence to promo. I think has helped me a lot in real life, and I think it's you kind of need to be shoved into it, like pushed. You know how you get shoved out of the nest, and you have to fly, or you don't go anywhere. Um, I think Preppy, you go on hard mics. I think you'd be very gifted, and I think you can do it. Right? I definitely think you can promo. Um,
Yeah.
but it's just a case of
It's for me.
availability. And I
Like
think
for
taking the
me,
break
it's.
until you're
Oh, go
available
ahead.
is the right thing. I think taking the break until you're
Hmm.
available is the right thing to do, and um, yeah, you should be fine. Sorry to go. I did talk over you, but carry on your point.
You're good because it was. I think the first time that ever happened, it was frustration on my end. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like the fuck I do wrong. Then I pretty much calmed down and realized like, okay, let me rethink this whole thing. So basically, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna chill for a bit because there's no point of me imploding for something small.
Mm.
So I just pretty much took the back seat and be like, you know what? I'm gonna chill out and I'm gonna pretty much worry about personal life right now. And when I do come back to HB, it will be hell to pay. which I low key did cut a voice promo for that, which hopefully y'all get to hear it very soon. Not now, but soon.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm like, honestly, I feel with a lot of people, there's a lot of people in Honor Band right now, and I think it's fresh. You got, well, I say fresh. Uh, talent wise, it's fresh. There's a lot of new matchups that can be had.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the general feeling at the moment is to try and get people motivated. Um, which yeah, it's achievable to get people motivated. It's just I think people have just got too complacent. I think is the biggest problem, and I hear it. I hear it a lot, whether it be Honor Band's critics or people who are in Honor Band. You hear it a lot as it's just become complacent now, right? I don't necessarily think it's complacent. There is people that aren't complacent, and they are generally trying, but it's just the way the card is evolved. Like you could promo your ass off, but you can't win the match off words. You can't win the match off words, and that's I think is what's quite unlucky on a lot of people.
That's true,
But
but
in saying that, I think it's about like go up now. You've got Rigoni and Jordan Brooks doing match of the year in any
mm-hmm.
Fed, full stop. I think. So it's fresh. There's a new breadth of life going into it. I'm facing Daniel Lyons at Wentworth's Club, and I couldn't be happier. But yeah, sorry to cut you off. You were about to say something.
No, you're good. And just to make everything clear, so we'll never have go. So this will never happen. I don't have a problem with people in Honor Bound. That's trust me. If I ever had a problem with somebody in Honor Bound, I'll at least talk to them like, "Yo, what's happening? This like, what's up?" Like all that stuff. But I don't have a personal beef with them. I don't hate them. Like right now it's just I'm cool with them, and I'm still cool with them right now. It's just what do I need to do to return? Like, what it's time for me to
Mm,
come back to all the like to all of this because I've been out for a little bit and for the right reasons because now I have my cousins to take care of. But it's just I just want I just pretty much I'll just say this and this it's gonna sound strange, but deep down I was low key happy that Cuervo beat me.
mm.
I was happy he squashed me because that gave me a reason to be like, you know what, maybe I need to take some time back and focus on them. First time that happened, I was mad as fuck.
But yeah, with
Then I
time
was
and
like,
hindsight, yeah, it changes your viewpoint on it. Definitely.
oh yeah, I was mad as fucking people messaging me like, yo, you good, bro? Like, you straight? Like, if you want to leave, we do not blame you. Because I was getting those messages left and right. I'm not going to name people, but I was getting those messages, which I do respect them still. But
Hmm. Well,
I just,
I think
oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
like with like the TCW situation, me getting fired at the time, I was fucking furious. I was like, God damn it, this is the worst
Yeah.
thing that happened. I'm gonna leave court, but in hindsight, I was like, yeah, that's the kick up the ass I needed to be better. You know, I was still a twat. I know for a fact I was still a twat, but um, I was a better twat if that makes sense. I wasn't like you can argue it was gimmick instead of just me being an asshole. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And
Mm?
go ahead.
No.
And I
I
think,
was going to give it to you. I was like, oh, but yeah, we're doing this a lot. The whole fucking over.
yeah.
It's my bad completely. But yeah,
And
complete carry on.
but I think this is just a conversation, to be honest with you. Like, this is us talking.
Mm,
And to be honest, I just learned from it. And I learned patience from Underbound. Just patience.
yeah,
That's really it. And I don't hate anybody because I'm really cool with almost everybody there. Like, I don't have a personal beef with them. I'm just chilling.
yeah,
Like, they do their thing, I do my thing. Sometimes I'll pop up and stream and be like, hey, sometimes I can't make it. That's normally almost every day because I normally work like crazy. But at the end, I'll replay, watch the stream, be like, all right, cool, this would happen. All right, carry on. And that's it.
Well, I mean, I hope I see you in there again. I'm looking forward to it. I don't like.
Ho-
I
hopefully,
I
hopefully.
don't think there's necessarily a massive issue. I think it's just a like you had to go for real life matters, and I think that's respectable. I mean, I don't. If someone's having to go at you for having to leave for in real life, matters. I don't see the entire point. You know, like I think like why argue someone like we all know core is not the be all and end all of our existence. So if someone like I think one of the biggest worries now for me and Epps is when I go back to university, will I be still able to promo and shit like that? Like
Oh yeah.
that's the big issue with it. It's just like we'll have to see. I'm gonna be in my own house, so I'll be like at university with friends and be drinking all this. So it may make it a less applicable. And who knows if the podcast continue? I hope the podcast continue because I'm having a lot of fun. I talk to you and I talk to Bill Dern, and I'm enjoying it. Right, I'm generally enjoying this, and if it I like there's cases where like when I was streaming Instance, which was the Fed I used to run, if I didn't get 5 viewers, I was disappointed and upset. But at the moment with just this podcast, honestly, I could no one could watch it and I'd be happy, you know, just because I have the chance to talk with you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of cases that needs to happen. I think there's a lot of cases where people need to talk to each other because otherwise, like, what's the point? This is a hobby. We're supposed to make friends through the said hobby, and I think there is nothing wrong with that at all.
I feel that, and I think with all this that happened, I don't. I'll put this to the end. First time that ever happened, I was frustrated and angry. Then pretty much I did express my anger, like yo, crazy. But then I realized, you know what? I have a responsibility. I have responsibilities to do now. So if most of my call work will take a backseat, so be it. I'm doing this for them now. Call comes not honestly. Call comes secondary to real life because I was reverting back to the old me. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm too old for that. Call will always be secondary to me.
I mean, it's secondary for me at the moment. Like, and I don't even have anything as primary, but it's still secondary to me. If someone comes up to me, he's like, "Can you do this?" I'm like, I'm kind of playing this game, at the moment. But aside from that, I think generally for a lot of people, to conclude this first segment per se about drama, with drama, we all need to realize we're all passionate about core, but it's not the be all and end all. It's not the end of your life if you fuck up on core, right? Um, there's a lot of cases in core that is ruined because and the situations go a little bit more than need to be because people are crows and they really want that moment of drama. They really want it. There's people that will stir it. There are people that instigate it, and it's disappointing to see. But then as well to combat that, and it's something that I may hear criticism about saying, well, there's like a moral duty to stick up for your friends. Yes, there is, but there's also a moral duty to know the entire situation before you blindly jump in. I feel that is the
Yes.
biggest thing I want to preach. Do not know the situation before you blindly jump in. Like there's too much of that in court. There's too much of he say, she say, and you blindly jump in because you want to believe person A because, and usually it's dictated by clout. Usually it's dictated by clout. Uh, Sometimes there is just someone just completely in the wrong, but you want to look favorable towards some people who can make things for you, and that's why I say it's a game of chess. You want to look favorable towards person A because they may have like the person A may have a really good company that people want to join. So you'll just follow what person A says no matter what, just because you want to join that company per se. But yeah, to conclude on this drama, I don't know if I will be talking about drama like this again for Warchief Radio. Uh, Unless we have another preppy
Same
episode.
here.
Unless we have another preppy episode, but
Wow, you're terrible.
but I don't want to make this into a big. I don't want this to make it into like a whole gossip show about who she said he said. But I think it's important that
Yeah.
you do have the way to vent a situation because there's no point sitting on something you feel if you feel wronged by someone. There's no point sitting on it and just getting bitter about it. I think it's right to be able to share your viewpoint. I feel everyone should deserve a platform if they like ever so need to not if they need to defend themselves. They need a platform. There's some acts that people do that they don't deserve any time of day, and they just deserve to get out. I'm not saying that everyone must have a fucking platform to explain themselves, but there is some cases where it's just okay, you're gone. It's situational. I think everything is situational. But like, if you look at there's people that have been blacklisted for good reason. You know, But there is also cases where it's like, hang on, have they really done something bad wrong here, or is it just like let them speak their side? Like redacted, absolutely not. We're not, like anything to do with the sexual conduct or missexual conduct and to do with children. That's a no go. You do anything towards a child in the like. I think I'll say this. In core, you got to realize there is a lot of kids in this community. There's a lot of people like 12, 10. Well, I wouldn't say 10, but 12 and whatnot. There was a lot of people. A lot of us are adults, yes, but there was a lot of kids, and I feel there is dangerous people within the community because there is like how many people this year alone have we outed as, oh, this guy's a bit of a pedophile, this guy's a bit of a nonce, this guy's a bit of a
Yeah.
sexual predator. And I don't feel like I wouldn't tell any kids to join here. Like it's generally scary. Like, I'm scared for people I know that's young in the community, and there's a lot of vulnerable people as well. Like there's people who have different mental I don't know what's the PC term for it, mental disorders and issues with their mental health that I feel are also at risk from a lot that's said. And on Twitter as well, there's a lot of things that you can't discuss because there's a lot of topics that people will jump on you if you have any opinion that's contradictory to what is their opinion. And I feel in general it's just not it's not I feel that we need someone just to be like, I feel that we need like not laws on and just general statements, just be like, okay, if this has happened, just leave it, or otherwise it's just gonna cause World War III on timelines. I don't know where I was taking this point, but alas, I wouldn't send kids here. It's definitely not a kid friendly community at all. It's very like you hear about all the fucking weirdness that goes on, like, and that's it's worrying for me to hear that there is people around in this community that are exposed to children, and I feel absolutely disgusted. It's a thing, but you can't say anything though, because if you say something and you're wrong, like there's no evidence, and if you say something you're wrong, you ruin yourself. And I feel like it's a weird thing. You like there's a lot of people I want to fucking out, but you can't because there's no proof. I've been told it's a certainty. I've been told it's a certainty, but I can't do anything about it. People just have to sit down because like it's again with the clicks. If I go pick a fight with someone, I'll have 50 people at my throat. Like, and that's the kind of scary thing. Because there's times where we can argue about stuff that has no fucking point. And I don't want to say that there's stuff that just doesn't fucking matter. And people argue over it. Like a quarrel between two people, just leave them quarrel. Don't fucking add to it. You add to it, you cause issue. But there is next to no one that's willing to stand up and solve I think the issues that do need resolving. And I don't want to turn this podcast into a way I can as a tool for me to do so. This isn't what it's for. This is for nice, wholesome fun. I'm not gonna I don't want to start any drama with this podcast. This is just wholesome fun, wholesome chats. People to have an insight into Preppy, have an insight into Building, have an insight into me. That's what I wanted to be, a public format where people, because there's people there's people that do want to talk to people. Like I bet there's people that want to talk to you, Preppy, and just feel a bit like insecure about saying the first message of hello, which for me, if you want to speak to me, just DM me and I should respond. It depends your character though, because if you're someone I know is a jackass, I will not respond.
Fair enough.
But yeah, anyway, aside from the serious stuff now, let's talk about something I'm more interested in about you, Preppy, and that is your role in CAC. Now, Preppy, as we found out we're on episode 10, I think, or 11. Which one?
I think we did episode 10. I think we're on episode 11.
Yeah, we're moving into episode 11. Now, Preppy, you won a gauntlet match that everyone's criticized me for, and it's like as if I made the fucking decision. Okay, just to make a little point, that's a joke. But yes, it's the way we edit it, and it's the we worked around. Preppy, you're now facing Crazy J at the second ever pay per view of CAC. How are you interested in that? Like, you could be the second ever CAC World Champion. From an in-character perspective, how do you feel about that?
Can you repeat that again? I have kids going, but I heard what you said, but I think it's time for me to get even with Crazy J, because the first episode he embarrassed me.
Well, yeah.
Thanks, by the way, boss.
This. Well, sorry. But this rivalry, you and Crazy J, goes all the way to episode 1, and I don't think there is enough. I don't think there is someone else like that. And another point I'd like to point out: you and Crazy J and Adam Richards have had the most matches in CAC. You guys like the founding, not the founding fathers, but well, maybe founding fathers, but you're like the Mount Rushmore of talent on CAC because you've been here so long and you're doing quite a lot. So who knows? You took out PK King. You want Crazy J. I think you want Crazy J because of the embarrassment from episode 1, and of course Eddie Reed, one of the most wholesome people I know. You kind of cucked him out of his chance, but I understand why you did it. You want Crazy J, not anyone else. We'll be right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, talking about that match, do you have any other dream matches that you want to do in core?
Dang. To be honest with you, there's two matches I want to have before I can call my career quits.
So 2 people you want to have before you call it quits. Okay, who are they? We'll set out the open invitation right now.
One, it will have to be against Blaze Maximilian.
Okay, Blaze.
Has to be against him. And the last one will have to be against. This is gonna be hard. It's gonna have to be against.
Well, it doesn't have to be just 2 people. You can add more to this. You can add more to it, but
it has to be every member in my inner circle that have to fight.
So every member in your little inner circle, everyone in your friend groups, you want to have a fight with.
Yes.
Now that's a. I think impressive is the wrong word, but that's surprising because if you ask someone what's your dream matches, you expect like them to like name the COH roster. You like Carter Blackwell, you got Tone White, you got Liam Mercer. You expect that, but it's nice to hear people not wanting just that. You know, it's nice for people to look at it and say, I want to fight this person because it has more meaning to me personally. Like, I'm not saying there's people out here that'll go, I want to face this guy, but there is people that and not have a meaning by it. Like there's a lot of people who have meaning to fight, like a Tone White. But I feel there is people out here who will go, my dream matches are, and then lists a bunch of people you'll get clout from. That's kind of disappointing. But it's nice to hear that you want to, give back to your inner circle, and then your inner circle being,
it'd be Tyson Brooks, Donald, Jack Hunter, Nate West, Jordan Brooks, Jared Baldon, Brad Braddock.
Was that all the people from Sanctuary? The Sanctuary Discord?
Yeah.
Right. You tell the Sanctuary Discord the challenge is out. You are gonna face every one of them. You're gonna have like a little hit list, the Preppy hit list.
Technically, it won't be called the Preppy hit list. It would just be called Preppy's last ride.
Well, I hope you don't. I don't hope you do your last lesson or your last hurrah for a good bit now. I hope you give it another 5-10 years. Continue your legacy,
I promise y'all. I'll give you 5 years at the most. I'll give you 5 at the most.
Oh damn!
I promise you 5.
Well, I'll be looking forward to each and every one of those matches, wherever they be main events of WrestleCades, and God help me if I know what the TCW version of WrestleCade is.
Hellbound.
I was gonna say Hellzone, but I was like, that's a HXW pay per view. I knew I knew it was something Hell. I knew it was around Hell, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's Hellbound. That's TCW's biggest pay per view, and
well, if they main event, I feel each of those matches could have the wherewithal to main event each of those shows. You just need for me, dream matches only come from storylines. If I face someone just randomly on a show, on a TV show, I don't call it a dream match. I call the pay per view the dream match. You know, I don't know if you share that sentiment. But yeah, if you just see it on a random TV show, it doesn't. To me, unless the TV match where it's like just randomly streams amazing, I don't call it the bucket list. You know, you can say, oh, but you face this guy here. I don't necessarily bring that two together. So you want to face Blaze and the members of Sanctuary, basically.
Yes, and the reason why I didn't name all the big names that most people think is most people say like, oh, you get more calls if you call him. No, because here's the deal about all that. I know sooner or later I will face those guys, like sooner rather than later. That's why I'm not gonna rush and call them out like, yo, I want to fight Tone White, I want to fight Lee. Nah, because at the end of the day, They're just like us. Yes, we all have big names, but they're just like us. So
Well,
I'll
yeah,
just
exactly.
wait my turn.
Exactly. What you say? Yeah,
And
hell yeah, I understand that.
and to be honest, I already fought you before.
Oh yeah,
I think I fought you.
our match in Redacted was very good. I enjoyed it. But
Yeah, you power bombed me multiple times, so fuck you for that.
it is kind of sad to call our match our greatest match was in now a redacted Fed. I think maybe we could do it again sometime. You know, maybe we can have a bit of a tussle.
Maybe in Honor Bound. Maybe.
I'll look forward to it. Who's gonna play the heel?
And
Who's gonna play the heel?
I think that's gonna have to be me this time.
Oh, I like that.
Or you can.
Well,
I can go either or.
They called me the most overface because I turned up to a stream drunk. So hell yeah, I'm the most overface. So
How about this?
I'll tell you
How
how
about
many
we don't
people are
have
pissed about that. I'll tell you, there's so many people pissed off that I was called the like. I think it was even just an off comment, just being like, yeah, I think the most overface right now is this guy. And everyone's just like, no, he's not. He just turned up to the stream drunk. What the fuck?
How about this? How about we don't do heels or faces? How about we just go out there and the best man win?
Okay,
Just pure
we'll definitely
competition.
do it. The meat versus the subtweet. That rhymes.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I think out of your group, I fought you, I fought Elps.
I don't even think I
The
have a
only
group. The people I talk to are like in different groups. Like
I know.
at the moment,
I'm
your
talking
boy.
about in CAC, like
Oh,
like
CAC, yeah,
CAC
definitely the CAC management. I don't know if you call that a group.
management group.
God, because
Yeah, I'm talking.
I butt heads with Eps all the fucking time. Like,
Yeah, I think I fought you. I fought Crude. I fought QC. Fought Epps. The only person I haven't fought is Rigoni.
oh, I would love to see Rigoni versus Preppy. Actually, that's gonna be a fucking banger. Oh my god.
One day. One day.
One day. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. Now, to end off this show, I'm trying to envelop like a little mini game, a little bit of a game where the audience listening can add to it or comment on our suggestions or tell us we're all just pricks. Last episode,
Mm-hmm.
it was a very botched attempt at a WrestleMania 37 card. Myself and Bill Dern. I think if you could spend the time to listen to 25 minutes of us just rambling about people and matches, maybe you could choose one. But
Okay.
I want to do something a little bit more simple this time. A little bit more simple, just because I feel I want something easier for the audience to understand. Because they don't have pens and paper, they can't make a massive note of everything. So
Okay.
now this is the Mount Rushmores. So when I say a category to you, you tell me 4 wrestlers that you feel are the biggest contributors to it. So for example, if I said SmackDown Alumni, and you can feed yourself Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, Batista, John Cena, and make it like that. That could be your 4, right?
Okay.
So now, if you want me to talk whilst you think, I'll fill the
I
air
think
with something.
I think I know what you're going with. I think I got it.
You got it. You got it. Right. So for the first question, the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers that inspired your character.
Tetsuya Naito,
Mm.
Shelton Benjamin, Sonata,
Oh,
and Shibata.
Shibata, Sanada, Naito, and Shelton Benjamin. Quite a New Japan
Mm-hmm.
themed build for. Do I call it Kendrick Kyle or do I call you Preppy?
Either or will fine. Either one will work. Either one will work.
So you're quite New Japan based around. So, do you feel the New Japan product is better than the WWE product?
They work different ways. Both of them work different ways. New Japan is focused on the wrestling more, and WWE is focused on like storyline wise and being entertaining, which both of them are entertaining.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying both of them works different ways. I like both.
For me, I think WWE is the grand like. It's got everything. It's got comedy. It's got high octane performances. It's got the characters. It's got all that, right? It's a big mesh of all this. Whereas I think for New Japan, it's more focused on the art style. And I'll tell you this: in a match, New Japan's beating WWE in a match. Honestly, you can see that New Japan demonstrate like the drama of a story in the match with very little words and just by body language and how they wrestle perfectly.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And that is why I enjoy watching New Japan matches. They're brilliant, right? I think one of my favorites is Will Ospreay versus. God, name's just. It's not. I don't know if it's.
With
I don't know if it's not Tanahashi, not Takahashi. No,
oh, wait a minute. Are you talking?
it's the
I
Wrestle
think I know
Kingdom
who you're
match.
talking
The
about.
Wrestle Kingdom match.
Was it for the junior heavyweight title?
Yes.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know if it's Takahashi. I think it's Takahashi. Osprey
it's
versus
Takahashi.
Yeah. Osprey versus
You got it, sir.
Takahashi. It was great, and I loved it. Osprey versus. I'm a big Will Ospreay stan. I don't think anyone knows that for me, but I love Will Ospreay.
It's fine.
I was hearing some people like saying, "Oh, he should stop wrestling because he's just gonna get himself injured." But I'm just there like, I'd rather see him wrestle. Like, obviously, I want to say I want to wish him all the health and whatnot. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I hope he fucking hurts himself and doesn't get in the ring," but I'd rather have someone entertain me thoroughly for 8 years than someone I find mundane and boring for 20.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. Well, after the inspiring characters, now watch the Mount Rushmore of what people you think are core components of wrestling. Like, who do you like? This could be wrestlers or personalities. Who do you think contributes the most to wrestling?
Who did I contribute to wrestling?
Yeah, it has to be a person because you can't just carve WWE or New Japan or Ring of Honor or AEW's logo onto a fucking Marion, but it needs to be a person. Who do you think? 4 people that have
I,
contributed the most to the to wrestling as a whole.
how many people I can choose?
4.
4.
4.
Shawn Michaels,
Mm.
AJ Styles,
Mm.
The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's fair. I think I can understand Stone Cold and The Rock because they really made wrestling mainstream during that time.
Mm-hmm.
Why AJ Styles?
Hmm?
Why AJ Styles?
Because AJ has, let's be real, and you can say I'm an AJ stan, which I don't like that word stan because
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
an AJ
assess.
stan as well. I'm just asking. Well, like, I'm not saying he's shit or anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because he has done it all because he wrestled in WCW before, then he wrestled in the WWF a long time ago. Then he went to Honor Bound.
He went to Honor
Then
Bound.
he was in Honor Bound. Then he started in TNA.
AJ Styles went to
And
Honor Bound.
yeah, he did.
Wait, is there an
He worked in
actual
Honor Bound.
company called Honor Bound?
I'm joking. Ring of Honor. Ring of
Yeah.
Honor. Ring of Honor.
I was about to
I'm
say.
sorry.
I was about to say. I was like, huh?
No. Because like pretty much because people coming in and out is Ring of Honor. He started with Ring of Honor. Then he came back to Ring of Honor. But most people know AJ Styles from TNA Impact.
I agree.
And then when he left TNA, he went to New Japan and joined Bullet Club. And Scott was. I think he's top 5 of all time. Top 5 or top 10 of all time.
Oh, fair play. I think he's probably one of the best wrestlers. Full stop. Purely from a standpoint of entertainment.
I think for our generation, I know they have Shawn Michaels. I think we low key have AJ Styles.
Yeah.
For our generation.
Well, I love both. I love Shawn Michaels. I love AJ Styles. I remember when they teased Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles at SummerSlam, and I was like, "Fucking take my money." I was like, "Take my money," but they never did it. Which is all right. I loved Shawn Michaels. Like, I don't treat the fucking Saudi Arabia shows as canon. I hate the fact that they pull people out of retirement for it. But I enjoyed his send off for WrestleMania 26, and I enjoy the fact he's working NXT talents. Like, he's helping them. Like,
yes,
living. Well, I don't know if it's the perfect life, but living what I'd love to do. You know, he just mentoring.
I think it's working well with NXT because look how they're growing. Look at their progression. Like
Okay.
they're doing good.
Okay, then the next Mount Rushmore, the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers that made you interested in wrestling.
Ooh, okay. Interesting wrestling. It had to be Triple H, AJ Styles, And surprisingly, I'm gonna say his name, and he's a lot younger. Adam Cole.
Oh, Adam Cole, that's a surprise.
Adam Cole and Naito.
No, fair
Tetsuya
play.
Naito.
Fair play. I'm surprised you haven't said Undertaker for any of these. Like Undertaker's on every one of mine so far, except for the
Undertaker's
inspiring the
always
character.
Undertaker's the GOAT of wrestling.
Oh,
Him and Ric Flair are the GOATs of wrestling.
have you
That you
watched?
cannot see.
Have you watched
Hmm?
his Last Ride stuff?
I have,
I've watched the
and
first episode. I need to watch this episode 2 and 3, but I just need to find time. But from what I've watched, it's phenomenal.
it's good. He pretty much tells everything. Like he pretty much opens up to it. But
A lot of people hate that. Like, oh my god, this guy who we're supposed to idolize as this dead guy why is he opening up? He should not. I think it's perfect. I think he's
I think
it's
so too.
like you're making him more human, allowing him to do more media stuff, like he's doing with interviews with ESPN and everything. But like, if you can humanize him now. I think he's like you don't need to keep up the facade. He's this undead man. I think the fact that it's what's his record now? 20 was it 25-2 at WrestleMania? Or was it 23-2?
I don't remember. I had to check, but I think after all he done, I think he has the right to be like, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to tell it all, and he has that right to do it.
Well, definitely.
Like,
I respect the shit out of Undertaker. He's phenomenal.
mm-hmm.
Definitely one of the guys that's maybe keep interested. Like when he lost the streak, I was fucking weeping. I was like, oh my god.
I was sad too. I'm like, damn.
Like, here's a side question. Do you think the streak should have ended?
I think the streak should have ended, but Brock should have not ended it.
For me, I think it should not have ended. I think it shouldn't have ended. I think it should just continued.
I get it, but I get it. It shouldn't end, but like usual, sometimes all good things come to an end, including streaks.
Well, definitely. I like
So,
if he did have to end it, I want it to be his final match.
oh yeah.
Meaning he doesn't have to be any bit more like the way I'd have perfectly done it. If you watched Endgame, right? Big Endgame spoilers if you haven't watched Endgame yet. So whoever's watching this and not watched Endgame, what are you doing yourself? Anyway, you know when I wanted like the big overhanging story is he keeps on defending the streak, and when he loses it, someone maybe Michelle McCool comes down, and he does the whole Iron Man thing where it's like you can rest now, it's done. Everyone's saying
Mm-hmm.
you've done your dues, and just have him right off into the sunset. Not die, not die. We don't want him dying, but
Yeah, just pretty much. Yeah, I get that.
well, if not Brock Lesnar, then who would you had beat Undertaker streak
Bray Wyatt.
as the Fiend or normal Bray Wyatt?
Both. Either or could work.
Either or. I think for me, if I wanted someone to be Undertaker's streak, God, it's difficult to think who deserves it, if you know what I mean.
Who does?
The way I'm thinking is, it needs to be someone who has like at least like another 10 years or so in the WWE, so you can really build on it, like make them a superstar for 10 years and make them like marketable. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I think it should be it should have been Drew McIntyre.
Okay, I can agree with that.
I think Drew McIntyre should have ended the streak. And like, when it was like WrestleMania 30, I wouldn't have done WrestleMania 36 due to the whole COVID thing, but I think it should have been WrestleMania 35 where it was the first ever you had a lot of firsts, and you could call the WrestleMania 35 a lot of first WrestleMania. You had the first Kofi Kingston being the first African American world champion.
Mm-hmm.
You could have the first time someone beat Undertaker's streak being Drew McIntyre. First match that Roman Reigns had back after cancer, there would be a lot of big moments on that WrestleMania. Not to say it didn't have its own big moments, but like it was phenomenal. And then you could have like maybe you could have Roman Reigns versus who else was on that fucking show? I don't know. At the moment, if I go back and look at my notes, I wanted Reigns to face like evil Rollins, but who knows? Who knows? I don't think there's much point discussing what could have been. Well, I know there is much point. There's discussing it, discussing it and whatnot. But I generally think Drew McIntyre should have been the guy, because if you look at him now, how old is he? He's what, like 34?
Mm-hmm.
Around 34. So he's got like a good 10 years. He's got like a good 10 years ish in the WWE. If he decides to stay with the WWE, there's a lot of people now moving on from it. There's a lot of people going, well, it's been chill, y'all, but I'm gonna peace out for a bit and go off and do movies. But I think Drew McIntyre was 22 in 2008. Yeah, he is exactly 34. Fucking hell. Sorry, I just opened up my TW mod just to check. But no, I digress. I think Drew McIntyre should have been the guy. All right, finally, the last Mount Rushmore question.
Okay.
Who is the current best? Like,
Current
who is
best?
yeah? If you looked at like 2019 to 2020, who is the Mount Rushmore of that?
I got name for it right now.
Yeah, 4. Who is the Mount Rushmore of like this year?
Damn. One has to be Adam Cole, because he has been NXT champion for the longest and he's doing good.
Mm.
Second one would have to be.
Do you say the second
You're
one?
gonna be yeah, second one, Seth Rollins. The third, you're probably gonna be shocked when I say this. Actually, the third will be Tetsuya Naito, because he's currently both IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Champion.
Fucking hell, is
both
he?
belts at New Japan.
I've not watched New Japan in ages. I just haven't had the time. But is he? Fair play.
Yeah. And the last one's going. You know what? I'm gonna say his name, because I think he deserves it. I'm gonna have to give it to Big Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. First one was Adam Cole, and Tetsuya Naito are the best for 2019 to 2020 ish.
Yes,
I can agree. The best of the 2000. I can agree with that. Yeah, Seth Rollins, very consistently great.
Especially his new character. I like it.
Oh, I love it. I love that jacket he's got, and when he wears a suit, when he wears a suit, I was like, that's the look. Drew McIntyre beat on a tear, beat Lesnar. It's nice to see someone other than Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins beat Lesnar. Then you have Tetsuya Naito, who is doing very well in Japan, as I hear, and then
as a double champion.
Adam Cole doing great things. I think, for me, I think who I think is the best for 2020. I'd have to say, and I'm thinking before quarantine now, because I've not been able to focus on I've not been able to so I'm going to think about 2019 as well a bit, right? I think Johnny Gargano, because he puts on astounding matches day in day out. I think The Fiend, he's been tearing it up storyline wise, and he's generally reinvoked a lot of interest into wrestling again. I'd have to say Kofi Kingston, because he's done a lot. He's been able to pay off the 10 years work he's done. And finally, you notice that these are all WWE names because I don't know anyone else outside of it.
You're good.
I'd have to say AJ Styles, because he's been a guy that's been fundamentally entertaining no matter what he's doing. Whether it's feuding Undertaker, feuding Ricochet, feuding Aleister Black, it's always been good. But yeah, that would be my 4. Now, in the audience or people watching, comment below who has the better 4, Preppy or me. Or if you have your own 4, I'm interested to hear it, whether it be a DM to me, an or in the comments, or if this is premiered like the first one, if in the comments of premiere, I'll probably be watching. But yes,
yeah, we may have to. I may have to skip over when I said Honorable multiple times. We may have to skip that over. High key.
High key. What do you mean skip over? We're keeping it.
I low key buzzed that multiple times because I could not hear. I'm like, okay.
Oh, it was my internet bad. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good. It was on my end. I'm like, shit.
Oh, no worries. Well, from my perspective, which is the perspective we're recording from, you've been all right. I don't think there's been a lot of breaks, like in what you're saying. Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is time to conclude the second podcast. Preppy, what social medias can I get you on? Except for Snapchat. I don't want you leaking that out to everyone.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Twitter, you can follow me at Preppy Kid on Twitter, which good luck with that. And on Snapchat is Dashing33, which wish y'all luck on that too.
You leaked your Snapchat. That's going out. Oof. Everyone gonna be on
that's
that.
yes.
So that was Dashing
bad.
DASHING33, right?
Yes, and if you add me, I will be doing story time tonight. Unfortunately, I lost the bet, so we'll have to do it.
Well, story time tonight being Saturday, so do you do that every Saturday or?
It depends. It depends on what all my crazy ass followers want. Which 12K y'all are annoying. Which I love you, by the way, but y'all are seriously annoying. 12K of my followers on Snapchat.
So I think then what we could say is follow Preppy's Snapchat for content. You don't know when you'll get it, but it will be there. For me, follow this YouTube account, Creator Zone. God, I botched that. App's gonna fucking kill me. Watch Creator Court Wrestling. We're going on to where you'll see Preppy Preppy face Crazy J for the world title in CAC at Critical Collision.
That belt's come home with me.
That belt's gonna come home. Oh, I hope it does. I can't stand Crazy J as world champion. Grr.
You and me both.
Grr. Well, Preppy, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. And before I leave, I just want to honestly say to everybody, like, today is just an experience. Like, at the end of all this, y'all know who I am, and I hope this clears everything. I don't have hate for anybody. Yeah, some of y'all annoying. Some of y'all do annoy me a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's all love. I want everybody to enjoy their life and have fun. Just enjoy it, because you may never know what happens. So just have fun, enjoy your life, and time with your friends and family. That's really all I have to say.
Well, those are words to live by. Thank you very much, Preppy. It's been Warchief Radio episode 2, and I'll see you on the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye, good night. See you later, Prepster.
Yep. See ya.